What's going on, everybody? It's SK here today, and I'm doing a video, special one from Marvel Tokon, and it's going to be interviewing the one and only here, Mr. ShinKensou. Yeah, the ShinKensou. You know, come on, the big man,
It's me.
the man of the house.
Hey, whoa. This is all right, you guys. Name's Kenzo. This is his show.
You know?
Okay.
Hey.
It's his world. I'm just living in it. All right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's glad to have you here. You know, it's a cool opportunity to be able to do this. I wanted to bring in Kento today because he has had a lot of chance to play Marvel Tokon at EVO 2025 this year. He's got a lot of gameplay showcase footage on his channel that you guys can check out. I'll leave it in the description below. And he's had a lot of, like I said, a chance to play the game. And I kind of wanted to pick his brain out and kind of talk about some of the predictions we can make off of like the meta of the game, potentially in terms of what could be strong, all kinds of stuff that we can talk about here. So without further ado, we can go ahead and get started with you, man. Go ahead and let's pick the brain. So the first thing I wanted to ask about, which I felt like something that I was going over the footage and noticed a lot from a lot of different people that was also posting footage as well. You know, one of the main concerns of the game that I think some people have, that I noticed while watching some people talk about it, and you know, people on Twitter was saying some stuff, was that like they felt that Marvel Tokon will reward aggressiveness, I guess, due to the nature of how causing stage transitions will not only build your team over time, but also increase your health and super and skill gauge. But after watching the footage a little bit for myself, I noticed that a lot of Star-Lord and Doom and a few other characters, like I think Storm too, really did a lot of good zoning. And I honestly felt like this is really cool to me because I'm personally like a zoner player myself. As you know, me playing team games, I just like to zone people out. And so I feel like zoning might actually be just an effective strategy in the game just as much as being aggressive is. And I wanted to kind of pick your brain on it and see, is this game going to be all the way aggressive? Is it going to be like purely rush down? What are you thinking about?
Generally speaking, with the way fighting games are made now, everyone assumes naturally just off rip it's just going to be an off rip aggressive game. And the reality is, Tokon, you can do it all. You can rush, you can zone, you can play passive aggressive. Like Star-Lord and Doom are so really well rounded in terms of that aspect, especially Star-Lord, because he's probably, in my opinion, in that build, I think he's the most mobile character of the six. Yeah. Iron Man's probably like second to that. And with all that, I mean, he's got like cable stuff, grenade. He's got a grenade that vacuums you in. Now that's the EX grenade. His gunshot's really good. Doom's shield is really good for blocking projectiles. Like drop Doom shield, call your assist, swap to your assist, and just get back to zoning. And you could do a lot of like unique zoning tricks in the game. So like, nah, I don't think it's fully as like aggressive as people are expecting it to be. Like, this isn't Tekken 8 where like, you know, be aggressive, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to play passively, you can. If you want to, it's pretty much the, you know, it's whatever you want to do, in my opinion, so far.
Yeah, I peeped that because, like, you know, specifically with Doom, because I love the way how Doom plays in this game. It feels like Doom can be like aggressive and defensive at the same time, to be honest, with the tools that he has. Like I noticed that one part, there was like one part of the gameplay footage where you did like a projectile reflector, the green little like circle thing that he does, and like you can have that on the screen, and he can do it in the air too, and he can do his little laser in the air or on the ground. I'm thinking to myself, you can control two parts of the screen. One of my favorite aspects of like Marvel vs. Capcom and a lot of those kind of team games is that like there's such like about spacing and just a space that you can control. You know, I peeped all of that and I was like, you know, I think like Doom and Star-Lord and Storm and a few of those other characters are showing that zoning can be just as effective. I mean, I've seen you guys like in your footages like literally convert into combos and do crazy damage just off of pure zoning. So, you know, it honestly is not really a bad idea, I would think.
Yeah, like for what it's worth, I've already locked in Star-Lord and Doom. It's just them two and like whoever else from that point. I really like Iron Man in the unique slot because the missiles assist is like, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. And I say this because like one of the neat things about this game is just like other Marvel games, you can body block your assist. But Doom can put out the shield, which automatically acts as a body block for your assist when you walk up. So you can put the reflector out there and it will eat projectiles, and your assist is just like whatever.
Oh yeah, that's so true. These kind of team games, especially, these are games where you have to really play them in order to really understand. Like watching, obviously, you can kind of watch it and you can kind of gauge your, opinions and stuff like that. But with team games specifically, you really have to play them. You have to be in training mode. You really have to understand the nitty and gritties of it. And I think that's what honestly makes this game impressive and very interesting. Is that like, even just from the footage alone, it doesn't paint a huge picture, but it's just enough for people to really understand just the amount of varying playstyles you could play to.
I think so. And like the crazy part is, like, if you notice when me and Justin played, both of us in particular, we swapped between offense and defense. He was doing frame traps with Storm. I used the guard cancel to get him off, go back to zoning, or decide to go in when I felt like it. And same with him, right? Like Storm's little orb, like it doesn't move in 8-way, it only moves in the 4-way, so up, down, left, right. But like the way she works with the wind and how you can control it, you can throw it off screen and then bring it back on screen. Like she's got some pretty tricky stuff with it, dude.
Yeah.
So like even her tornadoes, like even though when she tosses her tornado, it just stays in place. If you activate wind, you can make it go forward, you can make it go up. When she does her super, you can activate wind and make the pillar go up. Like her wind mechanic is pretty crazy. Storm is solid. Storm is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, in a Marvel fighting game, she has to be, right?
No, I mean, she's the queen.
She's a queen.
It's Aurora. She has to be good, right? So like, and I know some people who are probably watching are like, oh, Justin only played Storm. But it's like, that's his girl, Like, and he's gonna, the stuff that we figured out, like even prior to playing, because it was a good, like maybe 15 to 20 minutes before we got to the actual, when we started to really understand how to play. Like we were both like trying stuff out and testing, and we we're like, you could do that? You could do that? Yeah, I could do that. Wait, that works? Hey, try zoning with this. And that's when we learned about Doom's reflector, Doom's dash, passing through people. Like Doom is like self-sufficient mix. Like he can just put the reflector out and it's like I dash and it auto turns around. So Doom is like a mixed machine on his own. So you couple that with Star-Lord, it's like, okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I have a cover fire assist that holds you there, and then I can mix you left, right here.
Yeah.
And if you call your assist, they gotta hold the reflector.
Mm-hmm.
Doom?
Hello? Not to mention that sentry stuff he has, and he has a hit grab, right? I think, like.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. The crazy part, I think, and I know Doom's gonna probably be on a lot of people's teams, almost for certain, but he has the tracking beam like Gold Lewis as an EX move. So it's not a super, it's just down, and heavy, and it's like wherever you go, this follows.
This follows, Like it ain't no hidden missiles, but it's that's even better.
Bro, it holds you in place.
Yeah.
And if you have like Star-Lord in the unique slot, so the back assist, his back assist is the gravity grenade, so you can get hit by that and he can pull you in on top of this, so you can't run away from the beam.
Yeah. Like,
I wish you guys could have seen the other set that we played after we understood.
Wow.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, I can't even imagine you guys probably just was above like layers and layers of how y'all playing, and that's why I wanted to bring you in here to have these kind of good discussions and talk a little bit more and pick your brain to see what did you think about. And that's also going to lead me to the next question I have, which is, hey, let's get it out the way. You already know, a lot of people, when a fighting game comes out, even before a fighting game comes out, they love to see the meta. They love to know what is the strongest character in the game. What are the qualities a character needs to be strong, right? So I know you played a lot. You might not have like a big answer for it, but any idea? What do you think is like the strongest qualities a character should have in Tōkon, if anything? What do you think? Just off of what you think.
This is gonna be a hot take. At the moment, every character feels good except Kamala.
Oh, okay.
My issue with Kamala is her movement is based on the grapple, or her unique, which is kind of like Spencer's grappling hook. And it's a hit grab. It doesn't have any anti-projectile properties or anything like that. So I think for a unique move, I think that move might need anti-projectile properties with the type of zoning that's in the game already. So to me, she felt like probably she's the easiest character to maybe play other than Cap, but she's lacking in that regard. So let me bring into what makes a character good. Everyone in the game, for the most part, has pretty good buttons. Kamala's auto combos make her shine. But generally speaking, like, this game, I would argue to some extent, you could probably look at it in the ways of like DBZ, where like your medium buttons are really, really good. Obviously your lights don't really go anywhere, but like your medium buttons are really where you shine. Those are like your main pokes. So like everyone for the most part has pretty much good mediums. Kamala's are kind of eh. I guess that's what makes a really good character. Like, how good are your mediums? Because they're your whiff punish buttons. Because footsies exist in the game. It's not like normal versus games where you can whiff a button and go into special move. No. You whiff a button, you're committed. So people who are good at whiff punishing, this is going to be a good game for you. But like the neat thing about Kamala is like she can set up like things like Vegito, where like you'll block and assist with like kind of low block stun, and you can snatch them afterwards, and it'll pull her towards them, and she can get a conversion off of that. So that's pretty neat. So like she's kind of a character you got to bring in or have a good setup. But also the air dash movement also plays a big part of it. That's the other thing. Movement also plays a big fat role in it, and like characters like Cap have really good movement because he has a real air dash. And Captain America, in my honest opinion, he's kind of like the sole bad guy of this game. He's kind of like the standard character that can do it all. Got a good projectile, got a good DP, but like there's nothing really wrong with him, you know? I'm kind of getting into all the other characters, so I guess the best way to put it is like, I think the characters with the external movement options, so like Star-Lord and Iron Man, they're gonna be some of the scarier characters. Just because like, not only can they move around, but they can put stuff on the screen on top of their assists. So that's why I feel like maybe the more movement-based heavy characters will be really good. I'm sure Spider-Man's gonna be really, really crazy, just knowing the type of character he is. But if I had to, if you want to know what I think early strong meta is, Star-Lord, Doom. I'm pretty much, that's why I'm locking those two in. Like, I think they're really, really, really good together. I think some of the best starters, because the game's got way more layers than just like what's the best meta team. Because what's going to end up happening is what has the strongest opening, right? Because you only start with two.
Yeah.
So it's like, who has strong opening here? So like, for example, I wouldn't open with Kamala, but Kamala's got a really good DP assist. So getting her second would be great because now you have a really good anti-here if they start getting froggy, right? Same with Iron Man. But see, Iron Man's a tricky one. He has a really good DP assist, but him being the last to get bought on the team gives you the horizontal hit and missiles. On top of that, you can cover him with like Doom or any other projectile, right? And then active switch into him as the missiles come out, and you got free pressure. So when you start to think about like mid, early, late game, you start to think about, okay, what assist do I want for this part of the game? What assist do I want for this part of the game? Et cetera, et cetera. Because now obviously you can naturally get your extra HP, et cetera, right? That's already given.
Yeah.
But it's what do you want to build into? And now something that the devs really drilled in during our talks is like, we want players to build into something as opposed to just already outright, you got, you know, Morgan, Doom, Virgil, oh, you got snapped in, oh, Davin's crazy. Now your team's crippled, right?
Yeah.
But here, it's like, you can build into your team. Like, if you want to play Kamala, you can. But you want to make sure that, like, the character coming in to swap her for her DP assist is a good DP. Cap has a good DP, it's just very narrow. Iron Man, just very horizontal. Kamala just covers so much space. So you have to discern, do you want him here or her there? So like when you're swapping your characters, you have to really think about what you're getting next.
Yeah.
So it's not just, okay, I have hidden missiles, I'm never tagging into Doom, I'm only going into my middle character or my point character. That's it. Maybe you might DHC or TAC into for TAC Infinite, and then he goes right back to his slot, right? But in this game, you have to really consider who you want in each spot. Like, that's why I'm saying, for me, as much as I like Iron Man, I love that unique assist. It's so good. Same with Doom. But I like to play Doom. Doom's unique assist is the tracking beam. So from what I've discerned, everyone's like back assist, like the very last one that you get, that's like their EX move of choice that the developers give you, right? Because Doom's regular one is just straight beam. It's anti-air, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the greatest, but between straight beam And the tracking beam is like, which one do I want? Because tracking beam plus Star-Lord, scary. But I gotta get Doom last. Or do I? I can always call him out, active switch the point, and active switch again to put him back there. So you see, you have multiple ways to get them there. So you don't always have to just build, like, generally speaking, you'd want to build into what I think is having a good anti-air for your next character. I think that's the way it should go. And then from that point on, you just decide who you really want in the anchor slot to be that character. Because I don't think you have to play the anchor if you don't want to. Because remember, you can just play whoever you want. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the game's overall meta is going to revolve around how you want to play.
So like, it's basically like there are basically like character qualities that matter, right? Obviously there's like, you know, good M buttons, medium buttons, and, you know, movement and stuff like that. But for the most part, a lot of it is going to be, well, team dynamics, right? And what makes certain, you know, like certain decisions you got to make, or, you know, who is a really good anti-air assist, or, you know, like, should I switch or should I not, you know, kind of thing, you know, which is honestly, I think rewards that kind of player expression that I think a lot of people might be looking for. Just people can kind of be a little bit creative of how they might approach things, and that might suit them for the long run.
Totally. Like, if anything, I think the game really, it's an Arc Sys game, right? And the number one thing Arc Sys games always do is promote you to master your character. So I get the feeling a lot of people, when they start with whatever team they start with, they might be playing that for a long time. Because there's a lot to think about, a lot to figure out, where it's like, let's say you, again, we only have the 6, right? Let's say you like Iron Man on point, and then Cap second. Cap has a good shield slash, his shield toss is good. And I don't really like Kamala, so I'll put Doom there. Or actually, I'll put Star-Lord there. Star-Lord's DP is pretty good. Probably one of the better ones. Yeah, because he has an actual DP, right? So you maybe want him there, or maybe you want him in the back because that last assist is good with the gravity grenade, where it just vacuums.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe you just want it for that. So you can also build. Here's the thing: you can build your team around just one character if you want. You can build your team around 2 characters if you want. Build your team around 3 or the whole 4 if you really want to. But again, you have to decide who's going where when you need them. Because take, for example, let's say you just play Doom, right? Doom is a good character. Like, I'm gonna tell you straight, Doom is a really good character. Like, just hands down, good ass character, right? But you don't want to play no one else but Doom. And your goal at that point is to build something to make Doom godlike. That's what you want to do. Or build Doom around your favorite characters. And there's nothing wrong with that either. That's just another way to play. So let's say you want more of an assist that lets you stagger. Maybe you want to use Storm. Good projectile assist. Maybe you want to use Iron Man. Extremely good projectile assist. You can't use Doom, he's already in that slot. But, based on what you want to build into, that's how you kind of want to play the game. So again, I also did in the footage as well to show people that you can just play with just 2 characters. Now granted, your HP pool is only going to be so large, while if you win like the first 2 rounds, they're going to have their full team and they'll have more HP than you. So at that point, you have to play a little bit more careful, because if you get hit, you take more damage than they do, right? Because they have a bigger HP pool. So that's where the aggressive part, quote unquote, comes in, where like, okay, I kind of need to break this wall or do the thing necessary. Because even when you do wall hits and you do the thing that would break the wall, that will still give you your assist. So you want to keep that in mind.
Yeah, the wall split. Yeah.
Now, I also want to bring this into play because I do think this is something that people aren't thinking about, and I'm gonna give this to you exclusive. In this game, they've thought about a lot of things for tournament, and I'm gonna make your light. The light bulb's gonna turn on. There's a feature in this game where after you lose the round, whatever side you won on, that's the side you play on. Remember, all Street Fighter V did that, then they swapped, they took it out.
Yeah.
This game, it matters because of the walls. Now wait. That's one part. Now here's part 2. And here's where I'm really gonna blow your mind. Hear me out, and no one's talked about this yet. I'm giving this to you exclusive. There's one major thing about this game that no one's talked about for competitive. You can pick stages, right? You can also pick where you start. So when people are like, oh, the wall break this, the wall break that, in tournament, if it becomes a ruling, you can, in the options, when you do pick the stage, you can click the button and select starting area. So if you want to be at the wall, you don't need to counter pick. You don't need to counter pick with a new team. Counter pick your starting position. So if your opponent is player 2 and you pick the right side, he's in the corner now.
The fuck is y'all telling me? What is y'all telling me? What is the world? What are we saying?
So when you win, you want to make sure that if the wall is facing this way, you need to make sure you win on player 1 side and not player 2 side, because now your back is to the wall. So now you can counter pick starting positions as opposed to counter picking team.
I'm curious to see how that's gonna play out in tournaments.
It's because it allows you, it alleviates the whole, man, wall break, pick this up. All right.
Pick that opposing side.
In tournament, boom. It should be a ruling. You start in the middle. From that point, you can choose a counter pick stage by choosing your positioning. Or you can change your team. Or both.
Wow.
At that point, that changes the whole dynamic of this game completely.
Because it's like, all based on stages. Like hardest of stages.
Get them to the wall. Yeah. And when you get them to the wall, they're at the wall. There is no, oh man, wall break, like infinite wall break, like Guilty Gear. No. You're stuck here. You can't move. You have to hold that. And now, add into the mix, there's tech trapping. You can use your assist to forcefully build up the combo gauge and make them air reset. Guess what that gives you? Air Oki. If you want to hard knock them down, you only got one place to go. You're gonna roll forward, you gotta blaze blue, roll Oki. Deal with that. You're in quick rise, that's cool. I still got my assist right here. Or you get the knockdown from the, so you get the spike down based on, once again, how your combo limiter is. Drop the assist, jab them. Now we're tech trapping in the air again. No tech roll. You gotta guess in the air. People are just looking at the game from the standpoint of like, why is it not like Marvel, or, oh, I don't like these wall break situations, it's so bad. Dude, if anything, the meta will end up shifting into like, I need to get to the next stage. I need to transition to get a wall so I can hold my pressure. The way they're building the game is they want players to have a battle. It's not going to just be one-sided, because if it is to make it not one-sided, that's why they made it so it's like, okay, the wall is such a huge advantage. So if player 2 wins on player 1 side, all right, baby, you got that wall on player 2 side, let's get it. So winning the round on each side does make a difference. It's not just, okay, we win and now we just reset here and we go back to this side, but that now gives what ends up happening is player 2 or player 1 always has advantage, no matter what. That's why they allowed the side swap to reset, right? Or it starts back over where it was done. So at first I was thinking, why is it like this? And then I'm like, oh wait, this wall's behind me.
Yeah.
And when me and Justin looked at that, we were like, man, that's kind of scary. And I'm like, yeah. So you think about characters who have really good block strings, gonna push you to the wall, and it's like, dang, do I want to guard cancel this? Because you can't guard cancel if they have if they call an assist, you can actually guard cancel safely. If they don't have the assist, then they can counter call it and be like, nah, dog, you gonna stay right here, and you gotta hold more pressure. So you do have to be smart about it. Now I know people, oh, there's no push block, but you just wait on your guard cancels, and you'll be fine. There's other defensive mechanics as well, but I didn't get a chance to use all of them. But I know that one right there is good because everyone's calling assist during pressure. So you know what's gonna happen. Get them off, and then guess what you can do? Whatever character that is that knocked them that way, you have two choices. You either play with the character that's further back, or you active switch it to the one that's further forward. At that point, now we get to go into neutral. And not have to be here in the corner. So when you start seeing the game is so heavily positional advantage focused, it's insane.
A lot of people who are probably going to play this game probably hasn't played fighting games before, probably doesn't really understand a lot of these kind of concepts and stuff like that, right? But might be very interested in Tōkon. Do you think that this game will be easy to pick up for somebody who probably doesn't have any experience playing fighting games casually or competitively?
So Tōkon might have a lot of mechanics, but with anything, I think with time, and some persistence and being stubborn, you can play this game. I think from a general standpoint, even if you don't know anything, you can button mash and still do fine. And that's the premise of all the versus games, right? Like, as much as people don't like to admit it, you know, all the old versus games were 6-button games up until Marvel 2, where the two 6 buttons, the last 2 buttons were your assists. So, you know, it used to be a 6-button game in terms of attacks. Now you don't call assists with extra buttons. These are tagged, et cetera, and they're done with supers, et cetera. So, like, simplification, making things easier to understand and digest. I don't think this game is very difficult to grasp. I think it's about as easy from a general standpoint as Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but it'll definitely, it has a learning curve. It has a learning curve. I don't think anyone that's playing this has to worry about, like, it's going to be too hard, because once again, if you just want to play one character, you can just play one character. Every other versus game, it's like, well, you have to play all 3 of your characters on your team. This game, you don't. So if you just want to play Captain America and build the team Avengers if you want, and assemble your Avengers and only play Cap, you can do that. So that's what I'm saying, like, this game alleviates the stress of having to learn all your characters at once. If you want to be, I'm telling you now, there's going to be someone that's going to be just the best Captain America player in Tōkon. Just Cap. It won't be Cap in this. No, he's the best Captain America player.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the matchup. It's just, he's got the, because the thing is, you if you think about it, this is why I say it's okay for newer players, because each assist is essentially a new special move added to that character that you wouldn't get any other way. So since you can focus on just one, well, I want Doom's tracking beam, he goes last. I want Star-Lord's gun, okay, he goes second. I want Kamala's anti, okay, she goes second. And now Cap has like a great DP plus Kamala's DP, a great tracking assist to help with him catching other opponents, and then he has a cover fire assist on top of his own shield. So it's like, you just built the perfect Captain America.
And I'm glad they approached it that way, to be honest, because I feel like, you know, there's people saying that this game is like a 1v1 game with assists, but that's not really all the way true, because I feel like the game also leaves, you know, room for people who also can play more than one character to kind of mess around with that. Like, for example, like Doom and Star-Lord are really good together, so that kind of thing can also be a team synergy thing where some characters just really mesh well together to the point where you can actually just keep it more than just a 1v1 game of assists. You can also play it like a regular tag game you'd want to, or stuff like that, you know?
And I'm going to touch on something extra with that as well, because I know sometimes, or from what I've read, I've seen people complain about the shared health bar. I mean, part of why it's like this is so your team is not discombobulated like every other versus game. Well, I lost Virgil. Oops, I didn't get a chance to play Virgil. Oh, he got snapped out. Damn, that's crazy. He died on incoming mix. Damn, neither of my other characters can survive incoming mix either. Well, there goes my team. But then you don't have that problem in Tōkon. Your team is always intact. So if you want to, like, you don't, oh man, Doom died. No, Doom's still there. He's in the back. You just don't got enough HP. You know, but you can make a crazy pixel comeback. You never know. Because there's chip damage, but there's no chip kill, right? Yeah. So if you want, hey, you know what? It's getting rough. My Doom's kind of nice. Let me active switch into Doom. Put my reflector out there. Let's see if I can get some zoning going. Let me see if I can start the game. Like, I guess to add to that, there's so much I can say. But like, even when it comes to these things with the active switch, it does have some little bit of time, kind of slows things down. So like, okay, take a breather. What can I do here? Same with phase transitions. Okay, look at the life bars, meters, time. Yeah. What assists are they getting? What assist am I getting? Right. It's more of a information gathering portion of the game. It's like reassess situation. That's basically what a save transition is. Reassess. Okay, what's happening? My life bar is here, his there. Okay, that assist. Okay, cool. He's got this much speed. I got that much speed. Okay, cool. All right, and neutral and go. That's why I'm like, I don't think people will have too much of a difficult time. It just, maybe like with the amount of mechanics, it might seem overwhelming. But I think some of the mechanics are mostly in play to help newer players, and as you get better, you won't have to use them nearly as much. Like the super dash that goes through projectiles.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you got it, but then you could just, hi, I'm Doom. Here's a reflector. Hi, I'm Cap. I can put my shield up.
You know,
you can shoot past certain things, so you can move around certain things. It's like, that's more so. I think that's more helpful for like newer players and, dare I say, Kamala. Right? But even then, as you get good with her, you can learn to move around and get around a lot of these things. So new players will be fine.
Yeah.
I really think new players will be fine, and they won't have to feel as, I guess, burdened by having to learn so much when you can just, because the crazy part is once you learn all the things you need to learn with your character, now it's just transferring it to everyone else.
Yeah.
If you want to play more, if you want to put more of your team on the field.
As far as like Marvel vs. Capcom players, people who probably played Marvel vs. Capcom either casually or competitively over the years, what do you think are some fundamentals that might be able to transfer it to Tōkon, if any?
I think the majority of what you know about a tag fighter will work here if you've played previous Marvel games. It's just those things with Arxis flare on it, or Arxis spin. It's not that far off. I'd say maybe active switch, just not really much of a thing unless you played Infinite.
Infinite, yeah.
We all know how Infinite went down. But that's really it. It's I think if you know anything about those games, you'll be fine here. Maybe like just not push block, but generally speaking, like screen control, zoning, rush down, it's all there. It's just you won't get access to triangle jump. And I think I do want to point this out too. Some people will look at the quote unquote box jump or regular air dash, like, oh, that's it. I'll have you know those air dashes were pretty dastardly in Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue and even Persona.
Yeah.
So like, trust me when I say Arxis knows how to make an air dash very scary. I'd argue Strive. I understand how some people feel about Strive, but like this game doesn't work like that. And like those air dashes are like old school Arxis air dashes. In fact, the games, I would say, yeah, even like from a movement based standpoint, that's why I've been telling people it moves like Guilty Gear Xrd. And like Xrd air dashes are kind of, they will jump scare you if you're not prepared. Trust, they will. Other than that, anything you know about a versus game is still pretty much there. Maybe not snapback. I'm saying most things are there, but yeah, no push block and no snapback. And I think they put no snapback on purpose because they want new people to just play.
Yeah,
you know, they really thought about it. Like, if a new player gets their favorite character snapped out and they have to play a character that they don't normally play, that doesn't go over well.
It'd be rough, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I you know, I'm cool with that. You know, I know a lot of people probably, you know, compare the differences of Marvel 3 or like Marvel 2 or something or whatever and to Tōkon and like, hey, this doesn't have this in the game. But I think, you know, I feel like they made a pretty good middle ground. I think with a lot of MVC players and also Arxis players to kind of create something that is Arxis specific, but also clearly has Marvel vs. Capcom some skeletons. All right, obviously might be them heavy launcher, air combo, that, you know, tag game special, and like the way how screen control works with zoning. Even they have super jump in the game if I remember correctly. So that, you know, you have a lot of movement going on. Air dashes are also pretty fast. I think these are like fastest air dashes in a while.
These are way faster than
way
Strive.
faster. Way faster.
They are 100. The game, the only thing the game might lack, but I know versus players are already used to this, is like there's no jump cancels on block.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
But if you have Star-Lord, you have a command jump, so you
technically
have a pseudo,
yeah.
You have a pseudo jump cancel.
Yeah, a little ghetto jump cancel, yeah. Okay, and we're reaching the ends here. And so I would like to say, you know, any last words you have for the folks before you head out, and or you know, anything people should know mentally wise for the game or anything, or you know, what you thinking about?
For the people out there that are skeptical about it and probably wondering if it's gonna be worth it, for a fighting game to get 10 years worth of support that's already been claimed since EVO, it's definitely worth it. Is this gonna be Marvel vs. Capcom? No. Is this Marvel Tokon? Absolutely. So treat the game as it is. Don't look for another game. Don't try to compare it because it's not worth it. It's not a Capcom game. In fact, it's not even a full-on Arxis game. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it is Arxis, Marvel Games, and Sony. There's 3 hands in this cookie jar that are making this game. So keep in mind, like, it's not just all Arxis' decision. It is a collaborative effort to make this game what it is. And I think it's going to be something that's honestly going to go down in the history books for the Marvel games. Because 10-year dev support is like the equivalent to, like, if you think about it, it's kind of going down the list. Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom 1, 2, 3, and Infinite. Like, if you think about it, those games came out, like, that's kind of like the lifespan of all of those games from pretty much start to finish, almost in a sense. So it's like, nah, I feel like they're essentially gonna go through that phase with this game. So I think people should be just locked in. Don't be afraid to try it. And yeah, man, just trust me when I say I'm the furthest from a shill. When I got the opportunity to do this with Marvel Games, Arxis, and Sony, I was way more than overjoyed to be able to be, I guess you could say, the people's champ in talking about this stuff, right? Because I know how people felt about Marvel Infinite and stuff like that. So, like, trust me when I say it's gonna be a great game. It's if this core is this good already, lock in. Please lock in. I assure you, lock in.
I'm gonna let you know right now, this is 100% gonna be my main game. Definitely. Right now, I'm just letting things cook, you know, playing a little bit of some Hunter x Hunter on the side. I'm doing a little bit of some Fatal Fury, you know, playing some games until, you know, Marvel Tokon drops. And you know, shout out to you, Kenzo, as well. You're definitely gonna be doing content on the game. I'm also gonna be doing content as well. I'll be making a lot of guides and educational content for it. The beta for it will be coming out on September 5th to the 7th on PlayStation 5. So I will be dropping some stuff on that as well, so stay tuned. Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on here. Always a pleasure.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
And
I got you, bro. I got you.
Yes, sir, man. I look forward to the future of this game, the future of your channel, and yeah, thank you for coming on board, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, big dog. And y'all, lock it in here. Not just here on my channel. His.
Hey.
It's very important that you do. He will have educational content. Check him out. 100%.
Oh, yes.
100%. He's on the come up. Check him out.
Trying my best, man. Trying my best. And thank you all guys for watching too. You all have a blessed day. Keep yourselves easy.